Hey everybody, my name's Jen and welcome to my channel. Today I'm sitting on the floor because I decided that I'm going to show you my TBR cart, which is in the side of my room. And basically on that TBR cart is all the books I've recently bought within the last 2 months. So this is also going to be a book haul as well as what's on my TBR cart, because this isn't all the books I haven't read. This is just the new ones I haven't read. So this will be a different format to some of the videos I've done where you'll mostly see the books rather than my face. And if you like that format, just let me know. But on with the video. Here's my TBR cart. These aren't all the books I have to show you. A lot of them didn't fit on the cart. And so I'll just show you the 3 shelves and then I'll show you the piles of books. I put them in alphabetical order by author's last name for your viewing pleasure. So here's the first row. Here's the second row featuring my cat's tail. And here is the third row. And we'll go into these in more detail. Here's a stack featuring my cat. Here she is. Her name's Princess. Her name used to be Cappuccino, but we changed it to Princess. Princess! So there's her, being all cute and inquisitive. I don't mind my messy room, I have to clean it. But here are the other books as well. Alrighty, so let's get started. The books we're going to start with are the ones in the piles that didn't fit on the TBR cart. So this is Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. I don't know much about this book. I just saw that it was super hyped and that some of the books in print had this bloody hand on it and some of them didn't. So I wanted to make sure I got the one with the bloody hand. So as soon as I saw it, I picked it up. But I believe these kids see their parents on a VHS talking about or hiding a body. And apparently it was in Walmart's book club. I may or may not take off that sticker. We'll see. This is book number 1. It's also got some bloody sprayed edges. Next up is a book I read when I was younger. I found this one at the thrift store. That's what the sticker sticking out is. Well, the receipt sticking out. And this is called Bright Hopes. I believe it's the second in a series. And it's about a football player, a woman that becomes the coach. And I remember really loving this book, and I ended up getting rid of it when I moved, but I wanted to reread it again now that I'm reading more. And so I picked it up again at the thrift store. Costs, I believe paperbacks are 49 cents and hardbacks are 99 cents. So this one was only 49 cents. Next is Notes from a Bisexual Who Wants Too Much, Greedy by Jenn Winston. I believe this is nonfiction. I don't know a lot about it. I remember reading the back and liking it. Next is Loveless by Alice Oseman. I like this cover, but I also slightly wish I got the other cover that's really popular. But I got this one because it was a hardback. And I believe there's LGBTQ plus relationship in here. Other than that, I don't know much about it. You might have seen it in my short about a book haul. This one I ordered on Pango, I believe. This book I actually got today. I got it at a thrift store for 49 cents. It's Lying on the Couch by Irving D. Yalom. And it's in the point of view of a psychiatrist, and basically they're giving therapy to patients, and you can see what they think about that and how it's supposed to be funny, and so I'm excited about that, but I'm really into psychology and it's something I want to study more, so I thought this book would be interesting. This book is Date Me, Bryson Keller by Kevin Van Wy. This book is male representation, as you can see, and I got this at the thrift store today as well, hardcover for 99 cents, and I believe Bryson Keller, every week he says yes to dating a new person, whoever the first person that comes up to him and asks is. And for the first time, a guy comes up and asks him if he can date Bryson Keller. And so they only have 7 days to fall in love. And that's basically all I know about the book. Next, we have The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. This was also in my shorts for my book haul, but I thought I'd include it here as well. I'm really excited for this one. This one, I think they match on a dating app and they decide they're not for each other, but they decide to make a wager to see who finds love first, and then they end up finding love in each other, I believe. I'm really excited about this one. This one's one of my anticipated ones, but I do want to read Mr. Wrong Number first, since that's, I think they're standalones, but I think Mr. Wrong Number is technically the first one in the series. So next is Complications, a novel by Prince Charming. So on the inside, I got this at the thrift store, but it says it's by Roseanne Darrell Thomas. So obviously not actually Prince Charming. And here's the synopsis. But it's supposed to be Prince Charming commentating on these people's lives and their love lives, and it's supposed to be funny. And so I thought I'd pick it up for the 99 cents at the thrift store. Next is You're a Badass by Jenn Sincero. This I also got at the thrift store. I thought it was a great find for the 49 cents. And this is a nonfiction about just how to better your life and how to be great and live an awesome life. And this was really popular maybe about a year ago, maybe even longer. Next is Gothicana. I will be taking off that sticker. I just wanted to remember where I got it from, but I got it from Target during one of their buy one get one sales, I believe. This one also has the sprayed edges, which is nice. This, I think, is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Maybe it says, I was gonna say maybe a dark romance, but it actually says A Tale of Dark Romance. I used to read a lot of dark romance. I haven't in about 7 years, and so I'm excited for this, but a little nervous. I hope I like it, but it's been very hyped up, and so I'm excited for it, and excited for it to be my first book back into the dark romance. Next is The Raven Boys by Maggie Steffander, and I got this one at Barnes & Noble, I believe, and I've read this when I was a teenager, maybe about 10 years ago, and I remember really liking it, and so I decided to pick it up again and relive and see if I still really liked it. Next is Wild Love. I believe it was also the buy one get one half off sale, and I'm really excited to read this one. It's one of my anticipated reads for the new releases. I do want to read her other series first, starting with, I believe it's Flawless, but because I heard people talking about how characters from that series are in this book, so I kind of want to be able to experience the characters as they were single and then together, rather than automatically seeing them together in this book. Next, we have Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. I got this one buy one get one 50% off at Barnes & Noble. I don't think I've ever read thriller, mystery, horror, any of those kind of genres, And so this is kind of going out of my comfort zone, but I thought it sounded really interesting. Next, I have The Woman in Cabin 10. I got this thrifting. It wasn't $9.99 from BJ's. I got it for the 49 cents at a thrift store. And I really only picked it up because I knew that it was popular. I believe it's a mystery, maybe murder, but that's all I really know about it. I don't really know anything, but I am excited to read it. Okay, next we have The Dead Guy Next Door by Lucy Score. I got this one at Walmart. I remember going to a library and seeing it and reading the synopsis, so as soon as I saw it at Walmart, I decided to pick it up because I liked it so much. Now, because that was months ago, I don't really remember what it's about, but I'm still really excited to read it. I haven't read a Lucy Score book. Next, we have Love in the Time of Serial Killers. I picked this book up because I thought it would be a nice middle ground to the serial killers and the murder mysteries, and also romance, so I felt like it could kind of slide me into the murder mysteries. I just really loved the cover, and so I thought it'd be exciting to read. It's by Alicia Thompson, and I got this one at a bookstore, full price, that's near me. This book is With Love from Cold World, also by Alicia Thompson. I got this book because I really liked the cover, and I just wanted another Alicia Thompson book. I got this book also at the bookstore for full price on the same day, and I believe it's about these two falling in love at a theme park that's, about winter, maybe. This graphic novel I got at Walmart. It's called Rainbow by Sunny and Gloomy. I believe this is a queer romance. I don't know what it's about, but I think it has some heavier topics in it. It's originally from the online comic Tapas. Next is Maggie Moves On. This is by Lucy Score. It has the great price sticker on it because I got it at a bookstore for only $10. I believe it was a little dirty, but I pretty much got all of that off. I think this is about a girl that does renovation videos. She ends up kind of wanting to stay in one place where her renovation videos make her move around so she can be with this guy. These next books I'm going to do together. They're Beautiful Chaos and Beautiful Darkness. They are in the Beautiful Creatures saga. I think there's like 5 books. Beautiful Creatures I don't have in here, even though I got it with these 2 books because I'm reading it right now. I think they're each about 500, 600 pages. I got them from a discount bookstore. I think they're about $4 or $5 each. And because I'm only about 50 pages into the first book, I'm still not 100% sure what the books are about. Okay, so I have Midnight Sun, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, and then you can see New Moon in the background there. That's my only not hardcover. When I find the hardcover, I'm definitely going to buy it and switch it out. I did not get Midnight Sun at Target. I got all of these books at different thrift stores for the 99 cents or the 49 cents. And I've watched all the Twilight movies as soon as they came out, and so I've never read the books, and I'm really excited to read them. I'm just missing Twilight, and then I think there's 2 smaller books that kind of go along with these as well. But I'm really excited for Midnight Sun to see things from Edward's perspective. Now there's Better Than Most. I got this one at a discount bookstore. I'm not sure for how much. Maybe $4. It's by Jennifer Milliken. I picked up this book because it's one of those books that they had facing out like this, and I thought the cover was really pretty with these small little white detailed flowers in the pink. Next is Things I Wanted to Say and A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. I got A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime first at a thrift store. And when I looked on Goodreads, I saw that it was number 2 in the series. So then I picked up Things I Wanted to Say at Walmart a few days ago for full price because people weren't selling it online for that much cheaper. So I decided to just pay I think it was $16.99, $17 at Walmart. And so these ones, I picked up A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime because I knew it was popular and I wanted to see what all the hype was about. But reading the synopsises, I'm not sure how I'll feel about them because I know Things I Wanted to Say. The first one is about, this macho guy at school. He ends up taking this girl's journal and kind of using it against her to, in layman's term, blackmail her to do something for him. So I'm not sure how exactly that's going to go, but I believe that's why you can see the pages on the front cover. So I'm kind of excited to read these, so we'll see how they go. Next, I have 2 graphic novels, Unfamiliar and Unfamiliar Volume 2 by Haley Newsome. These were also on Tapas, like Rainbow was. It's an online comic site, kind of similar to Webtoons. I don't know much about these. All I know is that I've been following the YouTuber that makes them for almost like 10 years now. Her channel is Lavender Town. I'll put it in the description. But I just really wanted to support them, and I think their art style is great and really cute. And so I'm really excited to read these. That was all my piles. So now it's time to get into the books on my TBR cart. Those books are also technically on my TBR cart. Some of them were behind these books, but I took them off because you wouldn't be able to see them. And so afterwards, I'm going to put them back behind some of the books. So let's get started on this. First up, we have Vamps by Nicole Arden. I got this from Target. I'm not sure how much it was. I think it was maybe $14. And honestly don't really know what it's about either. I just saw vamps and I really like vampires in books. And so I just decided to pick it up. Here's the synopsis if you're interested. I think it's an academy with a bunch of wealthy, powerful vampires. It says Dylan's an outsider because he's a Dampier, a vampire who's half human. And he still has this tremendous power, it seems. Next up is The Gathering by Kelly Armstrong. This I got at a thrift store for the 49 cents. I just saw in a video recently where someone was unhauling their books that this is actually a YA series, and this is number 2 in the series, I believe, about some witches. So this is the Lakefront Billionaire series, the first book. It's called Love Redesigns. And I got it from Barnes & Noble. It's by Lauren Asher. I bought it so long ago, I don't completely remember what it's about, but I believe an architect has to work with this girl that he got fired from her job because he was in a bad mood. So his mom makes him work with this girl. That's all I really know about it, but I've had it on my shelves for a few months now, and I definitely want to get into the series. This book I'm super excited about. It's called Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. I'm excited about it because I got it from the thrift store today for only 49 cents. And I know how popular it is and how much some people like it. So I'm really excited. It's basically about a girl who is a party clown and her family doesn't take her seriously. And she meets this guy who is a house renovator, house flipper, after his career ends, and they end up falling in love. And I was really excited for this book. It was already on my TBR before I bought it. because I think it's really interesting that she's a party clown. I've never really heard of that before. Next, we have The First Love of the Lake Bittersweet series by Jennifer Bernard. This was also in my short of the books I've bought in, so I've had it for a few months. This one I really don't know what it's about. I bought it online for my TBR video. I remember liking the fourth book in the series. I think it was called The Crush. And so of course I wanted to start with the first one, so this is the one I bought. And a lot of the books I buy online, I buy from Pango Books or from Thrifty Books, I believe it's called. I'll put links down below. But with the Thrifty Books, even if it says they're in new condition, sometimes they send the books with library stickers on them. So just be mindful of that. If you don't mind, they're super cheap. Usually great condition besides the stickers. So if you don't mind that, then I think it'd be a great website for you. But this book is School of Good and Evil. This one I picked up because I got it at the thrift store. You'll see that's a common occurrence. And it was only 49 cents. So even though I'm not sure I'll like it, I thought it was a good deal, and why not give it a try? And so I think it's about these girls who, they go to a school kind of like Princesses and Villains, where one girl, most likely the blonde, thinks she's gonna be the good side of the school, and she's been training for it for her whole life. And then the other girl thinks she's gonna be in the evil side of the school, training for it her whole life. Turns out they flip, and so the blonde actually gets into the evil side, and the black-haired girl gets into the good side. And so they have to start learning the skills of the side they were actually accepted into. So I think that's actually going to be really interesting. And with the bridge in the water, it could be cool to see what kind of setting the school's in. And there's also a giant castle. Well, 2 giant castles it looks like. So that could also be a cool setting. And this book actually includes chapters 1 and 2 of the second book. So if I like this one, I can get a sneak peek of the next one. Next, I have Perks of Being a Wallflower. Also got this one at a thrift store. I picked this one up because I watched this movie on DVD, and I really liked it. And so I thought reading the book would be fun, and to see the comparisons. And there's a cover of this book I don't like as much as this one, and so when I saw the book with this cover, I was super excited and decided to pick it up right away. This book is super exciting because I went to my first Comic-Con, and there was the author of this book named Carmel L. Conrad, and it's my first book I've ever gotten signed, which I love, and I'll definitely be keeping it forever. And it says, "For Jennifer, always believe in you, Dr. K," because she's also a professor, I believe. And it has no reviews on Goodreads yet, and I'll definitely link the book down below if you're interested. It's a romance. It's a series at Crab Apple Creek, and I believe it's a mystery. It seems like her builder Ethan senses paranormal. She's seeing spirits. Maybe she has some powers. And there looks like there's a really good romance. And so I'm really excited to read this. I wish this author the absolute best. Hopefully I see her at the next Comic-Con so I can buy the next book. But yes, definitely go see if you like any of her books. I'll put her Amazon store page down below, and go and check her out. This next book is Vampires Never Get Old, Tales with Fresh Bite. It's by a whole bunch of authors. Oh, it even has V.E. Schwab in there. I didn't realize that. That's really cool. That's one of the only authors I've heard of on here. But I'm excited to, learn more about some of these authors. Again, I picked up this book because I really love vampires. I think there's romance. There's kind of all vampire tropes in here. So there's romance, There's ones without romance. There's more things about vampires getting their first kill. Some dangerous ones, some dreamy ones. So I thought that was really exciting. And if I do like this book, maybe I'll get The Mermaids Never Drown, which is also by a bunch of authors. I got it for $12.99 at a bookstore. This is My Dearest Darkest. It is buy one get one 50% from Barnes & Noble by Kayla Cottingham. And this book is about a girl that goes to an academy. She meets a new friend. They end up summoning some set type of demon that can like grant their desires, and things kind of jump off from there. I picked this one because I heard a lot of people talking about it. It sounded really good, and I figured it'd be an easier thriller for me to pick up rather than something heavier, which we'll talk about in a minute when we get there. This next book I got at a thrift store, and it's definitely not the time of year for it, but it's Merry Christmas Cowboy, and I got it for the Christmas season, so I won't be reading it until December. And it looks super cute. Like, look at that little reindeer right there with the little Santa and the snowman and the tree. I'm not sure what this one's about. I just thought it was really cute. It looks like it was an old library book. Looks like it's got some cops involved, which I love a detective story. And of course it has some romance, which I also love, Christmas romance. My mom and I always watch the Christmas Hallmark movies together. Next is one I'm very worried about because I got it at the Salvation Army, as the little receipt says. And I thought it sounded great. It's a sweet romance turns deadly. It's a queer romance. They meet at a farmer's market, they fall in love, and then one becomes obsessed, I believe. And the reason I'm worried about it is I watched Books and Lala read it, which I'll put her channel down below. And I think it's a horror, which I'm very much not great with horrors. I'm very easily scared. And so I want to give it a try. We'll see if I finish it. It's a small book, so I'm sure I can get through it. But we'll have to see how this one goes. But I got it in great condition from the Salvation Army for 49 cents. So I recognized the title, read the synopsis, really liked it, and so I picked it up. Next we have This Book is Gay by Juno Dawson. The introduction is by David Levithan, and it's revised and updated, so I believe this isn't the first edition. I bought this one at my local bookstore for the original price of $12.99. It says, this book is for everyone regardless of gender or sexual preference. This book is for anyone who ever dared to wonder. This book is for you. And I picked up this book because a lot of my friends are part of this community, and I myself am as well, and I just want to learn more and be more educated on topics. And this also seems to be a funny way of doing that, where you can learn and also have a laugh. So it says, you'll find the answer to all the questions you've ever wanted to ask, from sex to politics, hooking up to stereotypes, coming out, and more. And it's a candid, funny, uncensored exploration of sexuality in the LGBTQIA+ community. It's got real stories from people across the gender and sexual spectrums, not to mention hilarious illustrations. Ooh, I didn't know there were illustrations, so that's very exciting. This next book, The Patient by Jasper DeWitt, I actually got for free because my pharmacy has a free bookshelf outside of it, and this just happened to be on there. It is about a patient who no one's allowed near because everyone that goes near them ends their life. And so, of course, a psychiatrist is determined to, talk to the patient, try to figure out what's going on with them, try to help them. And I believe it doesn't end up well for them. This is like a thriller. Based on the back, it could even be a horror. Based on the notes on the back about it being, terrifying. But I also really liked the cover of it with the straitjacket. And so this is another one I'm worried for. Yeah, it says psychological thriller and supernatural horror. So we'll see how this one goes. This one also makes me nervous, but I'm trying to branch out of my comfort zone. And so I am excited to read it, even if my TBR wheel has to pick it for me rather than me picking it. But it'll definitely be an exciting read. Next, we have Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon, and this seems to be the special edition. I got this at a bookstore near me for the full price. I believe this is about women that are taken captive, and then they're left on this ice planet. I'm not sure why. And then these barbarians find them and make one of them with their wife, maybe. But I'll show you the back in case you want to read the synopsis. But I also really love the cover of this and the colors, especially the spine. And so if I like this book, I'll definitely pick up the next one in the series. I just heard a lot of people talking about it, so when I saw it, I figured I'd have to pick it up. This next one is another graphic novel. It's called If You'll Have Me. I believe this is also an LGBTQ AI plus romance. And this one looks super cute, and I love the art style, so I'm really super excited to read this one. But I picked this one up at another bookstore for $17.99. Definitely thought it was worth that price. And it's such a cute cover as well. Next, I got Coraline from Neil Gaiman, by Neil Gaiman, from the Newbury Comics store. I think it was only like $10. This is a thriller / horror that I'm more ready for because I've seen this movie multiple times, and even though the illustrations show that it's going to be a bit more disturbing because there are illustrations in the book, I think it'll be a fun read, and like I said with some of the other books, it'll be a fun comparison to the movie as well. Here's one of the first illustrations of the book right on the front page, just so you can get a peek of the art style. We have Icebreaker and Wildfire, both by Hannah Grace. Icebreaker I got at Walmart after I got Wildfire at Target. When I looked up Wildfire, I saw that it is a standalone, but it's the second in the series. And so even though I wasn't going to pick up Icebreaker, I didn't know if it was going to be for me. I decided to because I wanted to read the first in the series so I can see the characters and see the connections. So Icebreaker is about a figure skater and a hockey player who have to share the same rink, and I think the hockey player ends up becoming the ice skater's partner. I don't think that's spoilers. I believe that's in the synopsis. And they end up falling in love. And then Wildfire, I liked a little more because I like the camp setting. So they're both camp counselors can't date because it's against the rules. And they're gonna be there for the whole summer. And that's all I really know about that one. But I'm definitely most excited for Wildfire. I am also excited for Icebreaker because I hear a lot of people giving it 5 stars. So even though I'm reluctant about it now, I definitely feel like I'm going to like it eventually. Next, we have Belladonna. Oh, don't mind my pajamas. I'm filming this very late at night. But next we have Belladonna. It is a book I'm very excited to read. It's a YA mystery fantasy, and I believe it's about this girl that goes to a family mansion, and there's a mystery there, and I think she ends up falling in love with death. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I got this at Barnes & Noble for full price, and this one is one of the most exciting ones on my TBR, definitely. Next, we have Paper Towns by John Green. This is an older book, definitely, but I decided to pick it up because it was at a discount bookstore. It's only about $4, and it was on my want to read, even though I don't completely remember what it's about now. So I'll show you the back in case you're interested. I also want to read Looking for Alaska as well by John Green. I believe it's by John Green. And so I'm closer to the collection. Fault in Our Stars is also on my TBR. It's not on here, but it's on my bookshelf. I've had that book basically since it came out, but I still haven't read it because I was spoiled on the ending, but now I'm ready to read it and ready to be sad. Next, we have another vampire book, Vampires: The Greatest Stories, by all of these authors here. I'll definitely be taking off, well, trying to get this sticker off because it's definitely not cute. Next, we got 2 other books I got at Barnes & Noble, Unchained and Unhinged by Helen Hart. These are from the Blood Bond saga, and they have, the first one, Unchained, has books 1 through 3 in it, and Unhinged has books 4 to 6, I believe, and they're about a vampire who forms a blood bond with a human, so basically they kind of can't live without each other, and I think one's a doctor, the other one's on the run from their former master, I believe. Per what I've said before, I really love vampires, so these are also high up on my TBR, and I definitely want to read them this month. Next, we have The Love Hypothesis. This by Ellie Hazelwood, and it also has bonus chapters in it because I got it from Barnes & Noble. This one's about 2 scientists who are rivals. One's an astrophysicist and one's something else. I'm not 100% sure on the plot. I just know that this book is really popular and a lot of people really like it. And I wanted to branch out because I'm not exactly a science person, and so I thought combining science with romance might get me into the book. Next, we have 2 books that really don't need an introduction. It's Emily Henry, and it's Beach Read and Book Lovers. These aren't in a series, I just decided to put them together because they're by the same author. Beach Read is about 2 authors who switch genres that they're writing and they end up falling in love. And Book Lovers is about a writer and an editor that keep bumping into each other in a small town and they end up falling in love, I believe. Next is Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. And this is about 2 people that go on a scavenger hunt, I believe. And I think it's a second chance romance where they were originally together, but one didn't like the other's personality. And it's kind of like a learn to love yourself book as well. Next is The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. I actually already have this book, but like I said in my TBR video, I had saved it from the recycling bin because I really wanted to have it in my collection, and it's falling apart at the seams. And so today I found this at the thrift store. It's a nice hardcover in very good condition, most likely from a school that had been reading this. And I got it for only 99 cents. So I'm super excited to have this in my collection now. Next we have It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I ended up getting It Starts With Us at a thrift store for only 49 cents. And so I decided to pick up the first book, It Ends With Us, at Walmart, just so I could have the complete set. But I've read a Colleen Hoover book, Confess, and it was almost 4 stars for me, and so I'm excited to try another Colleen Hoover book. Next, we have the sequel and the 3rd book to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Good Girl, Bad Blood, and As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. The first book is on my TBR bookshelf right now, and I haven't read it yet, but it's one of the ones I'm definitely excited to read because I like that it's kind of multimedia and it has interviews and scripts and a few graphs and diagrams, So I think that's really cool. I also want to get Killjoy, I believe it is, which on Goodreads says it's 0.5 in the series, which means it comes before the first one. And so I want to look at the reading order and make sure I read everything in the right order, and maybe read Killjoy first before I read the first book. I also got these both at Walmart, including the first book. Next, we have Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I got this at Barnes & Noble for buy one, get one half off. This book, I know it's in an academy setting, and there's a mystery. I heard that there's a lot of point of views in here, and I believe there's 3 or 4 in the series, maybe even more than that. But it's a YA, and there's just a school mystery about the disappearances, I believe. Next is Jay's Gay Agenda. This is a book I got a few days ago at a discount bookstore for $4.50, I believe. And it's actually signed. Not to me, though. It's signed to someone named Andrew by the author. However, it's still very exciting that it's signed. And, oh, there's my little bookmark that I was looking for. But it's still very exciting that it's signed. And this book is about a kid that grew up gay in a small town, and he moves to Seattle, where there's a thriving LGBTQ AI plus community, and he meets this guy, and he decides to do this agenda of all the things he couldn't do in his old school, and be himself and be out and proud. And he has to choose between his new friends and his old friends, and there starts to be problems with that and trying to balance his old life and his new life. And so this looks really cute. It sounds really fun. And it says it's supposed to be funny. So I really love funny books. So hopefully it is. Next is a graphic novel of The Great Gatsby. I got this at a discount store called Ollie's. And I've never read The Great Gatsby. I've always been intimidated by it. So I figured starting with a graphic novel and then maybe reading it after could be a good idea. This graphic novel is only $5, I believe. And I actually have another graphic novel illustrated by a different person of The Great Gatsby somewhere around here. And so I'd like to see the comparisons and the way they both drew out the story. So this is Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy. I got it at Target at the buy one, get one half off sale. And I believe it's about a girl that gets the opportunity to study abroad and to get away from her doting, retired rock star father. And I believe she ends up falling in love there and has to kind of overcome the distance. This is a book by Sherilyn Keane. It's called Dance with the Devil, and it's a dark hunter novel, and it's third in the series. I've read the first one. The second one's on a different shelf, but this book is about dark hunters who were chosen by the gods to hunt these they're not demons, but they they have powers. I can't think of the word for what they are right now, but they have powers, and they can take souls, and so they're kind of hunting these, we'll call them monsters, down, even though you could consider these dark hunters monsters themselves. I'm excited to read this third book. I got it from Pango, even though I haven't read the second one yet, but the first one, I thought it was okay, and I want to keep giving the series a try, and so I bought the third book. This book is called Dating Dead Men by Harley Jane Kozak, and I got this at the thrift store for 99 cents a few months ago, and it's about a woman that is dating a bunch of men for her podcast. I think it's 40 or 60 men, and on the way back from a date, she comes across a dead body, and then she gets taken hostage by a doctor that's being chased by the mob. And we're not sure who the dead body's from. Maybe the doctor, maybe the mob, maybe she herself did it, who knows. This next book is A Lesson in Vengeance. I got it buy one get one 50% off at Barnes & Noble. It's by Victoria Lee, and I believe it's about it's in a school academy setting, and these 5 girls went missing. They're believed to be witches, and this girl and her new friend decide to look into this mystery. And it's supposed to be spine-tingling, suspenseful, with mind-bending twists. And so I thought this was a really pretty cover, and so I decided to pick it up. Next, we have RX by Tracy Lynn. This is a book about an honor student who is a drug dealer, and he's giving out pills to his fellow students. This reminded me of a psychology book because they're giving out stuff like Prozac, which, if you don't know, is for anxiety and depression. And they're giving out basically any drug you can imagine. So I feel like we're going to get into the problems these students are having. And I think that'll be really exciting psychologically. And I thrifted this today for 49 cents at a thrift store. And I thought it was a great find because it's a book I'd never heard of, but it sounded really interesting. These last books are from Ollie's, the discount store I talked about. They're called The Adventure Zone. I believe they are based on D&D. And that's what the person in the top left bubble is, the Dungeon Master. And I think this D&D party just kind of goes on adventures. And I have books 2, 3, and 4 here. I still have to get book number 1, but they were about either $4 or $5 each, which I think is a great steal because I think they're usually $19.99. I don't know much about them other than them being D&D characters, but it says the first one is Murder on the Rockport Limited. This one is Petals to the Metal. And then this one is The Crystal Kingdom. I think there's maybe 6 or 7 in the series right now. I'm not completely sure. But I myself play D&D and have been in a few campaigns. And I love creating D&D characters, seeing other people's D&D characters. And so these graphic novels definitely were exciting to me. Thank you everyone for coming and watching my video. I'll make sure to put links to Lavender Town, Books and Lala, and Miss Conrad or Dr. Conrad from that new book I was talking about from the Comic-Con. I really hope you enjoyed looking at my book haul and my TBR cart. And if you made it this far, comment a cat emoji since you got to see my little cat. Any cat will do. They're all very cute. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye!